Hi, this is Red again, and I'm going to close this series on my grandparents with some recollections and reflections on my maternal grandmother, Margaret Higgins. My mother's mother was a very capable person. She was probably born in the wrong time in the wrong place to really achieve everything she could have. But given where she was born, given the roles that were available to her in her time, she did a tremendous amount, and I think ultimately maybe lived the most satisfying life of any of my grandparents. She was curious. She was quite smart, but education wasn't really available to her, and she got pregnant at 18. My grandfather's 10 years older than she was, and they ended up getting married, and were married for 49 years. And I think she was generally happy. I think she appreciated her life, even if it didn't. I don't think she knew what she was missing, I guess. And so she accepted that in the way Midwesterners often do. And she was fine with being the maternal, the matriarch of her family. My grandfather was not a guy who liked conflict, and he wanted to be liked, and he was a jokester, and that a lot of the discipline fell to my grandmother, and she did what she had to do, and that's probably a good thing to describe her. She did what she had to do, but she was smart, so she did it well. She was very committed to her family. I mean, she kept tabs on all of her grandchildren. She knew what they were doing. She knew what her children were doing, and she wasn't the iron-fisted matriarch, but she was the one who, if things needed to happen, it would be Grandma who took care of it. Super capable, not super emotive. Not to say she didn't. I mean, she felt things deeply, and I see the same thing in my mother. She's reluctant to kind of share her emotions. Certainly, that passes on to me too. Because there's a vulnerability there, and there's risk there in vulnerability. But that aside, my grandmother Higgins, Margaret, was probably the grandparent that I was closest to, and that I enjoyed the most. We had the most in common, and I miss her. I think she would be a wonderful person to still be around.